And this is what is on this week on AM Business. Now, Uber is usually mistaken for a taxi company. However, the global brand is a technology company that thrives on a software operating system. Uber does not own any of the cars operating with its software. The company makes its revenue charging a 25% global tax on all rides made with its operating software. This week, AM Business throws the spotlight on how tech companies like Uber are changing the transportation sector and what effects this will have on traditional transportation service providers.
Technology is changing every aspect of our lives and our economy, including the transportation sector. This week, we throw the spotlight on tech-based transport company Uber to find out how their software is changing the face of transportation in Ghana, and also what effects that has on traditional transportation services like taxis. Ride-sharing companies are the new face of taxi services, and Uber is currently the most popular ride-sharing company in Accra. The technology company had an estimated income of $5.5 billion worldwide in 2016. Uber provides a platform for potential passengers to request transportation using the mobile application, which connects the passenger to drivers all over the city. You need to download the Uber application from the App Store, and with a click of a button, you request a car, and in the span of 2 to 15 minutes, one shows up at your location. There are over 1,400 Uber drivers in Accra alone. Joy Business spent a few hours with one of them, Henry Kwashi. Henry had been unemployed, and that's why he decided to join Uber.
I was looking for a job. You know, I was working with a certain oil company called Slambeje, and I was a driver there. And due to the oil crunch down around the world, they decided to lay off some people, which I was included. So as I came home jobless, I decided that I needed another job, and somebody introduced me to Uber.
But how much does the average Uber driver make in a week?
In the early days of Uber, I was making 1,000 cedis a week.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And the man was surprised. And I told him, I love picking people. It is my job. And where I'm staying has become an advantage, because I'm staying in between Burma Camp, Cantonment, East Cantonment specific.
Okay.
Then Chado. So I'm around Trade Fair. So anywhere you are, they will bombard you with a request.
Uber has faced many challenges in some of the 550 cities it operates in around the world, including neighboring Nigeria and its home country, America. However, Uber's general manager of Sub-Saharan Africa, Alon Litz, says the company intends to expand in Ghana.
The way that we grow in a city is we'll grow in the core of the city and then expand outwards. So just looking at Accra specifically, I know we're not everywhere in the greater Accra area, but we do hope to expand and become more reliable as the business matures. In terms of expansion to a new city, the one city that I can talk to and the one city which I'm very excited to announce is that by the end of Q3, so by the end of September of this year, we'd like to be operating in Kumasi. And once we're there, we'll obviously evaluate other options for expansion, but right now, both Accra and the subsequent launch in Kumasi will be the focus. I think the key thing is we look to engage with NGOs, we look to engage with business associations for female entrepreneurs to get the word out there, show female entrepreneurs that this is something which is a viable option. I think previously the transport industry is seen as a male-dominated industry, and I think with technology, through the benefits that we spoke about earlier around safety, that no longer has to be the case.
The tech company's operations in Ghana have angered some taxi drivers who think that Uber is taking away their business. Joy Business spoke to the chairman of the Legon Taxi Drivers Association, Samuel Latte, about this.
What we noticed from them, that the count that they are making, I think is similar to us, but they are private way, and the way they work with us, we are not happy about it. For Uber taxis in Ghana, I don't think it's necessary. Why? Number one, and in campus here, let me talk about the campus here. Campus here, we are the one university have recognized, granted to work on campus, and they told us they are not going to accept any company apart from our union company. Now, the Uber came in with that reform the university, and they are working day and night, and they have become a novice now in campus. For me to sit down and take over the work from the campus, no, it will not go on.
Transportation consultant Cecil Gabra speaks about what the introduction of software companies like Uber could mean for traditional taxis.
Uber operates like a taxi and operates like a rented vehicle as well, because when you call it, it comes to your destination, okay, and before it moves to another destination of your choice. And there's a timer in it. There are other gadgets such as trackers, and they know. The vehicle owner knows where it is. The Uber authorities also know where the vehicle is going at a particular time. But if you look at the situation where you have picked an ordinary taxi, let's say from here to Bosiokai, what will happen is that as soon as you finish, you cannot identify the driver again. But with Uber, you can identify the driver. If you have left something in the taxi, the Uber taxi, it can't be traced and you could find it. But so I don't understand the whole idea of a local taxi saying our business is getting destroyed. It's competition. Rebrand yourself. If you rebrand, you get into the competition with them.
Technology is here to stay, but what does the introduction of software companies like Uber mean for the future of the Ghanaian transport sector?
We are moving forward. We need to move forward, okay? We don't have to stay at one place and keep on doing all the same old things. We look up for advancement in the transport industry. In the near future, I think transportation must be much more convenient for every Ghanaian, must be cheaper wherever you want to go. You can easily call a taxi, and then the taxi must easily take you around than you going through much of any hassle.
Alan Litz says Uber is all-inclusive and taxi drivers may join the service if they meet the standard set for all Uber drivers.
Uber is an open technology platform. It's not about Uber or taxi, it's about Uber and taxi. And we would love to engage, and we will continue to engage more with existing taxi operators. And there are a large number, or a growing number, of taxi operators who make use of Uber during their downtime, but when they're busy with their own private trips, they continue to operate in the way they did before Uber launched in Accra. In terms of what the requirements are the same. It would be a valid driver's license, the relevant insurance documents for commercial usage. It would be the roadworthiness certificate. There is a vehicle inspection in addition to that, and there needs to be a working aircon. So provided that there's that on the driver's side, there's also a background check process with a psychometric test, and assuming that that goes well, then driver partners are activated on it.
In just a year since its launch in Ghana, it seems the Uber service has caught on in Ghana. But what do users really think about the service? Joy Business spoke to Bernard Akwa Obeng, who uses both traditional taxis and Uber.
Uber has some disadvantages because they work with the internet, with the GPS system. Sometimes it's hard to trace the person you are going to pick up. So if the driver doesn't really know where you are requesting from, it's very difficult for the person to get to you and pick you up. In terms of security, it's better than the taxi because
when you pick a taxi, you are not guaranteed safety because you don't know the driver. You don't know where he's from. You don't know who he has links with. But when you pick an Uber, because all the drivers are registered to a system, they are peculiar about how they treat the customers. With the taxis, I think it's easier to access them. You just walk out. There are so many of them, so it's easier because with the Uber you have to wait for the person to come. So if you're in a hurry, taxi it's easier because you just get out and they are there.
However, Uber is not the only ride-sharing company in the country. Ghanaian-owned tech company Uru is also making strides to rival the American tech superpower.
On the average, we've gotten about 400 to 500 drivers. We are hoping to hit 1,000 by the end of the month. We know that there's a bigger market for Ghana, not only Ghana, but in Africa. And so that's our next step. Our services focus on giving convenience, solving issues of clients. And so, yes, we are aware of the competition, but within the African markets, some of the services covers only Accra. We are looking at the whole of Ghana, and so the market is bigger and to take over Africa in terms of ride sharing. And so we are launching in Nigeria, Kenya and Cameroon in the coming years.
Thousands of drivers, billions of dollars in revenue. The competition between traditional taxis and tech-based companies like Uber is definitely white hot. But one thing is for sure, technology is here to stay and is changing the face of transportation in Ghana. Companies like Uber are hitting the Ghanaian market with a force. My name is Kukwa Apia, reporting for Joy Business.
And that's your business this week, really. But if you have an Uber experience, of course, I would love to know about it. So send me a WhatsApp message or an SMS. When we come back, we'll settle down for AM Talk. And we will talk about all the big issues with my guest right here, Mr. George Anders, MP for Ewutu Senya West, and also Deputy Communications Minister. It's Telecoms Day today, so we'll talk about that as well with him. Oswald Hassan Suhini is Member of Parliament for Tamale North. It will be a good conversation coming up on AM Talk.